Alright, so the e-brake is installed. Now, I obviously had to have the e-brake cables at an angle, which is hopefully going to be fine. I know they're normally supposed to be parallel, but due to the space limitations and obviously having the headers right here, this is the only way I could get it to work. So, now, there's probably only like 1.25 inch gap between the header right here and this cable, so it's probably just gonna melt it. So what I may want to do is I may have to wrap these headers, an exhaust header wrap, because also we have to have coolant lines going through here, brake lines, throttle cables, wiring going through here. So I may want to just wrap these an exhaust header wrap to try and keep anything from melting. So let me just do that now before it gets too crowded in here. Now that doesn't look half bad. Now I know you're kind of supposed to soak it in water first before installing it, but that just makes an absolute mess, and I don't really want to do that. So I think it's fine doing it this way. Alright, so originally I wanted to start working on doing the paneling behind the radiator, so therefore I can start working on installing the coolant lines, but I recently discovered a potential issue with the placement of the gas tank, which I need to do further research on, and I don't really want to rush that decision because we may have to find a different spot for the gas tank. So let's work on something else. Let's work on finishing the firewall. I want to add more firewall up here, kind of on the top of the engine. I do need to be able to make it all removable so that we can still get the engine in and out of the frame. But yeah, I definitely want to add some type of firewall up here. Now, let me take a quick moment to let you guys know that recently I started a second YouTube channel. The YouTube channel name is Rather Be Welding Clips. It's a clips channel. The main focus of this clips channel is to take my old popular content and just shorten it to be mainly focusing on just the riding, driving, and testing of these vehicles without the videos being 25 or 30 minutes long. I've also been taking some of my older projects and older videos and taking all the videos that I've filmed of that one project and combining it to one short video showing the whole process of start to finish, building that whole project and test driving it. So definitely go check those videos out, links in the description below, and go subscribe to Rather Be Welding Clips. Alright, so I've been staring at this for kind of forever, trying to figure out how to easily add paneling right here. Now it's kind of turning into a challenge simply because this stuff kind of sticks up really high, especially the blow-off valve and the, I guess this is like a discharge pipe that goes into the intake. This is kind of sticking up really high, and that's making it to where I can't simply just add paneling from here right to here. Easily. I have to figure out some way to get this part of the paneling a lot higher, and I kind of can't really figure out how to do that easily. So, because originally I was just going to have one panel here and then one panel on this side connected in the middle, I was gonna weld something right here and here, and then just have the paneling kind of meet in the middle right there, but that means to do that, I need to add a bend from this right here down to here, and obviously that's not gonna work. The discharge pipe is really in the way with that, and I can't lower it. I can't do anything about that. So I'm trying to think of, can I add the bend somewhere else? Can I go from here to here? That would kind of work, but then that doesn't work. I don't know. I've been staring at this for way too long, trying to figure this out. So yeah, let me just stare at it some more, and I think I'll eventually come up with a solution. So, I'm gonna be honest, this kinda looks like crap. Now, I unfortunately don't have a brake big enough to bend this. I do have a hydraulic bender. It's a hydraulic press with a bench vise brake installed, and it's unfortunately not big enough to bend it in one go, making it to where it's super wrinkly and ripply. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this in one piece. I may have to do this in 3 separate pieces and then just weld it together. Because, yeah, trying to get this angle correct, trying to get it in this corner, trying to get everything to lay down flat perfectly. I don't know if I can do this in one piece. Alright, so I'm going to weld this in place to try and eliminate any warping. Alright, so I'm going to weld this in place to try and eliminate any warping. doesn't look half bad. Now, that would have been basically impossible, trying to make this out of one piece of aluminum, trying to follow all of these lines and all the angles and everything. That was even challenging enough, making it out of 3 separate pieces of aluminum, but at least it worked out, and it looks halfway decent. Now, I know there's only half, we still need to do the other side, but I don't want this entire video being about paneling, so I'm going to do that either later in this video or maybe next video, but I want to start discussing the issue with the gas tank. Alright, so about the issue with the gas tank. Now, over the last couple days, I've been doing a bunch of research. Research I should have done before building the gas tank and putting it here. And basically everything that I'm reading says that for a vehicle like this, you need to have a firewall around the gas tank, especially if the gas tank is in the compartment of the driver and passenger. So, yeah, kind of really wish I thought of this, and yeah, basically everything I'm reading. I'm reading forums, I'm reading stuff on websites, even some stuff on the DMV website, as well as according to Google. Everything I'm reading says you need a firewall around a gas tank for basically all vehicles, all street legal vehicles. I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense, and I was honestly not really 100% sure about the placement of this gas tank, because it is a really convenient spot because it's not, you know, there's not really anything else that's going right here. It makes it to where there's better weight distribution, puts more weight in the front end. But having it basically right next to where I'm sitting was a little bit concerning, especially with how I mounted it. If this frame gets damaged, if it's in an accident and it gets bent, the way I mounted this gas tank, it could potentially make it to where this gas tank just ruptures a weld seam, and just dumps fuel everywhere, literally right next to where I'm sitting. So, yeah. Kind of wish I thought of this before spending well over a week building this gas tank and putting it here, but you know what? I'd rather find this out now before completely building this whole thing and building it around the gas tank being here, and then try to go to potentially get this thing street legal, and then to find out then that it's like, yeah, this is not good, you need to put the gas tank somewhere else. So basically we have 3 options, mainly 2 options, but one option is we can just continue as planned and just leave this here, and maybe they won't notice that the gas tank's here and the gas tank doesn't have a firewall. But I highly doubt that, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to, you know, then find out that, oh yeah, this needs to be somewhere. And unfortunately, I cannot build a firewall around this. It's too big. There's not enough clearance around the sides of the gas tank. So option B would be to build a much smaller, skinnier gas tank and then build a firewall, which would basically be another aluminum box. And I'm not really sure if that counts as a firewall, if I'm just building just another aluminum box around the gas tank. Does that count as a firewall? I'm not really sure. And option C, which is the most practical and one that's not going to take forever, is to just remove this gas tank and put a gas tank behind the engine, above the rear differential, behind the firewall. That solves the issue of having a gas tank behind a firewall and makes it to where... The downside with that is I really liked the position of this gas tank. It made it to where the weight distribution is a lot better. It made it to where... because this was kind of a nice convenient spot, but if this makes it to where this vehicle cannot be potentially made street legal, then it doesn't make sense to leave this here. So, and it sucks that I spent the amount of hours and the amount of time I spent building this gas tank to then just get rid of it and have to put a gas tank in the back of the vehicle. So that kind of sucks. But you know what? That's what I get for not doing this research before building this gas tank. So, oh, it's got some fuel in it. Oh, I didn't know that. Now, a friend of mine gave me this gas tank that conveniently fits right about there. Now, I think for now, let's just, because I know this doesn't really go with the style of this vehicle. This is a VW sandrail style gas tank, and this is not a VW sandrail. This is a Crosskart slash, I don't even know what this thing is anymore. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I know I keep calling it a Crosskart. I'll be honest, it's not a Crosskart. It's something else. It's a kit car is not the right word. I don't know. But basically this gas tank I know doesn't go with the theme of this vehicle, but I think for now it works, it fits here. So for now, just to get this engine running and just to get this vehicle working, let's use this gas tank. If we really don't like it, after we get the engine running, the way that I can build a custom gas tank that better fits in here and better goes with the style of this vehicle. But I think for now, let's just go with this one. You know what? That actually doesn't look that bad. Hopefully these straps are strong enough to hold this up from the side. I didn't really think about that until just now, but also this gas cap is not really in the greatest spot, but at least we can still get to it. Oh wow, that's rusty. Ooh, that smells like varnish. That's bad. Now there is a fuel pump already in this gas tank, and I'm kind of wondering, can I just run with this one, or do I need to change the fuel pump to the one that's for this engine? So this, all I know is it's off of a 800cc Honda motorcycle engine, and that motorcycle engine is fuel injected, so this is for a fuel injected engine. But do bigger engines, do supercharged motorcycle engines require more fuel pressure? That I'm not really sure about. Plus the wiring is probably different. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to see if I can just run with this fuel pump, or do I need to change this out to the one that's for this engine? Yeah, it does kind of suck that we're not even going to use this gas tank, and we're basically just going to scrap it, especially with the amount of hours I spent building this thing from scratch. But you know what? That's what I get for not doing any research. Now, I will admit, for a little while, I was really pondering, should I just build a much smaller gas tank right here and figure out a way to build some type of firewall around it? But realistically, that would probably take me 2 weeks, because it took me over a week just to build this gas tank. I have to build a whole new one from scratch, and I would have to build some type of really complicated, fancy firewall paneling. These projects already take a very, very long time building from scratch, and I don't want to delay this for another 2 weeks. And I'm pretty sure the majority of you guys don't really care where the gas tank is. You guys just want to see this thing running and driving, and the fastest option was simply just put the gas tank in the back and move on. Alright, so now that the gas tank situation is solved, now we can work on installing the paneling behind the radiator to try and funnel the air from the radiator away from the driver and passenger. Now, the reason we're doing this now is because next I need to install the coolant lines and brake lines, and I kind of need to do the paneling first because I'm going to have to drill holes in the paneling to run the coolant lines and brake lines, so we need to do the paneling first before that. Now, my original idea was going to be I wanted to install the paneling kind of in front of the rack and pinion and try to funnel the air from the radiator underneath the frame. But some of you guys had a really good point. You do not really want to do that. You don't want to be funneling air from the front of a vehicle underneath the vehicle because that creates lift, which is not a good thing. So now I think I should add the paneling behind the rack and pinion and try to funnel the air around the sides of the frame. I think that's going to be a lot better. And it's actually going to make it easier because then I don't have to go through the tie rods with the paneling. So I also think I should add some paneling underneath the radiator, and I don't think I need to make that removable, so I may just make it out of steel and weld it to the frame. Alright, so unfortunately, there's no way to be able to finish the paneling right here in this video. I've been just staring at this for forever, trying to figure out how to funnel the air from the radiator to the sides of the frame, because I don't want to just add paneling right here, flat paneling, and then make it to where the air coming through the radiator just hits like a brick wall and doesn't really flow out, making it to where this thing gets like zero airflow through the radiator. I'm trying to figure out how to funnel the air out to the sides, so therefore the radiator gets good airflow as we're driving this. Now, Couple things that are really in the way is the master cylinder for the brakes. That's kind of right in the middle of where the paneling has to go, so I'm just going to have to cut a huge hole in the paneling for that, as well as obviously the power steering column, or the steering columns, you know, gonna have to go through. I'm gonna have to cut a hole in for that, as well as, and this is kind of why I had to figure out the gas tank situation first before adding this paneling, because actually now that the gas tank's gone, it's gonna be a lot easier to add paneling right here. So yeah, we'll finish that in the next video of this project. Now, something I do kind of want to say is, as I was looking up, you know, the placement for a gas tank to make this thing street legal, I was also looking up the process of making a vehicle like this street legal. And yeah, I'm gonna be honest, it sounds like kind of a nightmare process. Sounds like it's gonna take forever. And I knew that when starting this project. I knew making a vehicle like this, especially from scratch with zero VIN number, without a title, I kind of knew that the process was going to take forever and cost a lot of money. And I always thought when starting this project, like, oh, it'll be worth it, the videos will do really well, I'll make my money back and it'll be profitable. Well, to be honest, this project has not really been profitable. I know I said maybe one or two videos ago this project that, yeah, I'm not even close to breaking even with this project. And according to a forum that I saw of a guy that built a DF Goblin in North Carolina, and he went through the process of what he did to get it street legal, and he said it cost about $2,500, and he's paying a bunch of money on insurance a month, and it was basically a 2-week process. But he started with a title, because he just bought it. He did kind of what I wish I did. He bought a car that has a title, that has a VIN number, and just built a DF Goblin kit car. I don't have that. I don't have a title or a VIN number, so getting this thing street legal is going to be kind of a process. And honestly, do I want to spend any more money on this project? I know ever since I started this project, I know I've been saying, like, oh, I'm going to get it street legal, it's going to be a street legal vehicle, but that was when I hoped that this project was going to do really well with views, and I was going to make my money back. The goal with these projects is to always double my money, and, you know, plus at minimum. So with this project not even breaking even yet, honestly, I'm not really sure if I want to spend more money on this to get it street. So good news is this project may be for sale pretty soon, once I get it running and driving, and hopefully I'll paint it and everything, just because, yeah, I need to get my money back from this project. But yeah, I don't know, if the next couple videos of this project do really well, I'll be honest, I kind of need to see the riding video, the testing video. I need to see like 1 million views for it to be financially worth it, to put in 2 weeks of work of taking it a bunch of places, getting it registered, inspected, getting a VIN number for that to be financially worth it. So yeah, if these next couple videos of this project, or the videos I continue filming this, continue to perform as they have, then I'm probably just going to have to sell this project just to recoup the money that I have in this. So again, good news, this project may be for sale pretty soon, in case one of you guys wants to buy it. So next video, we'll finish the paneling in the front, then we can start working on the coolant lines, brake lines, and start hooking stuff up. Then we can start working on wiring and all that stuff that takes forever. But anyway, I guess that's it for this video. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see ya in the next video.